Hey guys, welcome back. And today I might be outing myself as a little dumb or stupid, but the theme is how the AI craft is getting harder, not easier over time. And this is something that actually surprises me because earlier this year I would have thought all these tools were going to get easier and easier over time, but there's three tools in particular that launched huge new updates in the last few weeks that kind of underline how actually the craft is getting harder. And maybe that's a good thing for AI artists and professional AI artists who want to make a living from using these tools to create completely new worlds that have heretofore not been so possible, right? And so let's look at them real quick. It's basically Patchwork from Midjourney, Sora, which just launched from OpenAI, and then Pika.art. Three amazing tools that are doing, frankly, very different things in image to video generation, but require, in my opinion, quite a bit of expertise. And I'm going to show you how dumb I am just by playing around with them. I'll show you how they work, but you'll see quite rapidly how these tools are getting a little hard to use, right? So like here we are in Patchwork. It's very different from the usual Midjourney scene, which is itself very hard to use. And I've shown this many a time. Like if you go into an image, you have all these tools on the right here. Oh, you can't see because my head's there. But like all these tools right here, oops, all these tools here, all these tools here on the right, which make it really hard to use, right? It's not easy, right? So it's like you have to learn what they all mean. There's the question marks here which kind of guide you, but it still means that you have to play with them enough to really get to know what they actually mean. Even just clicking on a few buttons doesn't really help you fully take advantage of what is possible, right? Like even the editor mode, like how do I maximize usage of the editor mode? It takes a lot of skill and a lot of usage, right? Like I can't just like click on here and change this into a Coca-Cola bottle, for example. Like that would be relatively hard or would take quite a bit of generations. Or, as you can see here in a few seconds, like it actually removes that little creature, right? It's going to probably remove this thing, not necessarily replace it with a Coca-Cola bottle, although it might, right? But that's kind of the note here, is that sometimes it's hard. And look at that. See, it didn't even replace it with a Coca-Cola bottle. It just made it again, right? Like, so like, how do you make a Coca-Cola bottle there? You have to do a few things. You have to create a Coca-Cola bottle and then use it as a reference image and all that. So if you jump over to Patchwork, which is Midjourney's new interface, first of all, like it's kind of befuddling, first of all, to know how to use it. Like, and we're not going to go too deep into it, but here, like if I want to create a new character, I have to click on character here. I have to place my cursor there. Then I'm creating the character. Then I have to name it like Min, right? And then here I'm like maybe describing it, like Min is a creator. And then I have to click on here to paint, like, and then here I'm painting. Then I have to prompt it again. So like this is like confusing, at least to me it is. I don't know if you guys think it's really easy to use. In my opinion, it's not easy. It's not easy to also like figure out how like to change the aspect ratio of these things. Like it's a lot. I mean, it's a new product. They just released it. It's definitely an alpha or beta, but this is clearly quite different from the interface that Midjourney is natively used to, which is this, which is just, at least here I'm prompting, right? Here, it's like a much more, and they call this like a world builder, right? A world building tool where I am like creating an entire world here by, jumping across. Oh, see, and this is confusing, right? I clicked on another world and it asked me to create a new world. So like they have this like philosophy of what is world building. You're creating different images that amount to a world to them. So that's Patchwork. Then we got Sora, of course. Like I have other videos, check them out in my profile, like storyboard, remix, blend. Like if I go into storyboard here, right, I click on storyboard, there's all these tools here. There's presets, variations, seconds, etc. And like if I want to change a video, like let's say I have this UFO video, right? And like I don't like how that UFOs come out. I can like remix it. So I'm like changing that UFO. Maybe I'm changing the style of the video, or I'm jumping into blend and I'm blending this. And if you look at this, like I can upload other videos into it or choose from a library. So let's say I want to like blend it here. There's all these different types of blends here, right? Like there's all these different types of blends, transition, sample, mix, all of that, right? Not to mention, then we got loop, which is kind of more easy. It can, you know, loop the image or the video, and then recut, which brings you into like a storyboard feature, which then I have to prompt further, right? That's a lot, right? And that is something I've personally played with for months, and as a result, have had a sense of how it works. But even then, like I'm still getting to know this tool. It's very, you know, like I'm not always getting what I want out of it. Like here, I tried to prompt an image of or video of like two aliens partying, which eventually came to this one. But like it took me like a dozen times, right? It took me a dozen times before I finally got what I wanted. And even then, I was just too tired to deal with it. I just wanted to post something on social media. So I just took this one. I mean, if you can see, this head just becomes that head. So it completely messed that up, right? But I was just like, oh, whatever. I'm not going to deal with that, right? Again, this is something that you have to spend a lot of time with to really get to know what it can't do, or a sense of what it can't do. Then you've got Pika, right, which just released its whole new like ingredients feature in Pika 2.0, which allows you to essentially, on one side they have all these like effects, the Pika effects, which like you can like deflate an object, ta-da, you know, all this right here, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can zoom in on this here. Yeah, so you can kind of see here, like you have all these tools here, dissolve and all of that, but it's like decapitated, exploded, all this kind of stuff. So, and this is all new here, tear it, poke it, peel it, like squish it, all of that. Like these are all new features that you have to play around with to really get to maximize, right? And of course, then you've also got, you know, this new ingredients feature where I can essentially upload, right? I can like upload, let's say I have this silhouette here, or let's see, let me grab here, I got this Dalmatian, right? So I'm going to grab this Dalmatian, which is now one ingredient, they call it. And then I can add another one. Maybe I can add like a picture of myself. So I'll grab that, my usual profile pic, put it in there. And I'll say, you know, like man and dog walking together. Okay. And then I'm clicking on that and I'm generating it. Now I did this previously with another one, and this is what I got. It kind of warped. I took my dog Muji and it completely warped Muji. It made Muji a different dog, right? So, and then it put a kitchen behind here, right? So like not exactly perfect. I'm still getting to know how this tool works. In this one, I just uploaded, right? I just created this. It changed me into a white dude, first of all, and then it made the dog a different kind of dog entirely, right? So like clearly, like in here, I get it. Something went wrong here as well. So like there's issues with this. So like my point being that these tools are adding more and more features. And as a result, the craft of AI creation is getting harder, not easier. And that's really, really, to me, is like really interesting as a kind of like output of what's happening. On one side, I thought with AI tools, things would get easier. I mean, if you look at ChatGPT, things have gotten easier in some ways, right? Where, hey, I could prompt an essay, right? And I can create an essay right from like a few sentences. It can write for me a whole entire essay based on its data of what an essay it thinks look like. But in this case of like image to video in particular, it's like, hey, you need to learn these tools, these little features, these buttons, etc., that will get it to work correctly. So that's really interesting to me. I'm very curious what you guys think about that, what that means for the industry, what that means long-term for what we're going to be seeing and playing with in the next few years. Is it going to get easier? Is the trend towards easiness, or is the trend towards more hard things where everybody's building their own kind of like Photoshop suite, which has its own kind of like intricacies and idiosyncrasies on how to use it and get the most out of it? So let me know what you think. Curious what you guys think that little thesis there. Talk to you soon.